Hi everybody, this is the ninth video in this series where I'm trying to create a multiplayer game with Unreal and C++. Um, in the last video, I had just created this HUD that inherits from a class that I created that uses the bind widget method to bind the progress bar that I created to that variable. There is one thing I want to show you that I did in my player character class. These three methods I made, these three public methods to get, in particular this one, to get the character stats component, I ended up making it not a U function because it doesn't like, I guess, T object pointers coming back as a return from a blueprint callable function. So I just removed it because I didn't need it anyway. I wasn't planning on using that function from a blueprint. If I later want to, I'll have to change it. But for now, I just went ahead and removed it. So what I was planning on doing here was, since I had this widget, I was going to add it to my player controller and configure it there, but after playing around with that for a few minutes, I think that's a bad idea for multiplayer reasons, which became obvious pretty quickly when I tried to do it. So I'm going to create a new Unreal class here. I'm going to inherit from a HUD, and I'm just going to call this Aspen Player HUD and put it in the UI folder. And I'm going to clean that up a tad. And what I'm going to do here is create a couple properties. First one will be T subclass of the T subclass of that HUD widget that I created earlier. So player HUD widget. Call it player HUD widget class, and then I'm going to make another one that's an object pointer, and I'm going to call it player HUD widget. And this one needs to be a U property. Edit anywhere. Okay, so I got those. Then I'm going to need actually, let's go ahead and do protected begin, override the begin play. And override the tick. Okay. So begin play here. Okay, let me create another member variable. Woo. passed in here. Okay. And we're going to call the create widget method. And create an instance of the Aspen Player HUD widget. It's going to be get owning player controller. We're going to pass in as the owner, and then player HUD widget class. Does not like that. Does not like that one bit. Okay. Seems like it wants it to be a subclass of user widget. Aspen Player HUD widget is a subclass of user widgets. I don't know why it's complaining about that. Oh. Well, let's just go ahead and make that. And now it's, of course, fine with it. Okay, so we're going to take that widget that we created, we're going to add it to the viewport. And then in the tick, and this is actually going to be a problem, but it'll work for the moment. So I need to create a public method on my widget. So in this method, I just need to update the progress bar. all constants. That's why it's underlining them. Okay, so now I've set the progress bar from there, so I need to call that method. So pass in the current and the max health. And let me build that. Okay, so now that's all compiled, I'm going to come in here. I'm actually rename this to player HUD. Whoops, player HUD widget, and then I'm going to create a new blueprint class from my player HUD class that I created. I'm going to call that BP underscore player HUD. Open that up, and under Aspen player HUD, I'm going to set the widget class to be the blueprint that I created from the widget class I created. So this is the blueprint that's got the progress bar on it. So I'm going to set that, compile, and then in my world settings over here, I'm going to come to where it says HUD class, and I'm going to change that to BP underscore player HUD. Save, actually save all, and give that a run. Okay, and now if I shoot this guy, it did not update. Okay, let me try it from the other client. And he never dies. Well, that was working before, so obviously I've introduced a problem. So let me see why this isn't updating. You know what? So this is going to be a problem anyway, so I should probably go ahead and move it. Problem is, if when I die and I respawn, the character that I'm controlling is going to change, but this won't be getting notified. So for now, what I'm going to do is just say so maybe that will, you know what, let me stop this editor and launch this in a debug window so that I can actually see what's going on. I'll pause the recording for a minute, come back when it's reloaded. Okay, so the editor launched. Let me go ahead and start. Go. Let me give that a shot. Now if I run, interesting. That is what the problem is. Okay. And I'll pause again and wait for this to build and launch. Okay, editor should be popping up any second. There it goes. see what the output log says. Okay. Interesting. Well, his health is definitely going down because otherwise he would not have died like that. Let me stop it and turn it the other way. But from one client to the other, from client to server, not replicating, which it definitely was. Broken something there. But really, the bigger mystery is why. Oops. This doesn't cause max or current health to drop. Because if it didn't, you wouldn't die like that. So I wonder if that's all just a replication issue. It probably is. So it appears that it was a replication problem. What I did is I came into my character stats component CPP file and just set the set is replicated to true on begin play. That's all I did. And now when I run it, notice the health bar going down on my client. And now if I run it again, I may still have a problem the other direction, but let's see. So if I run from the client, so when this guy gets hit, let me look at that logic again. So my weapon, line trace weapon, on the server, you know what, this is probably not actually happening on the server because has authority is true on the client for this particular let's see, when the weapon spawns, server equip, equip timer. So theoretically this is getting spawned on the server. guessing this is a problem. Okay, well, I'm gonna have to do some debugging on this, but my HUD seems to be working, so I'm pretty happy with that. I am gonna do one more thing. I'm trying to keep these videos a little bit shorter. So I am gonna do, let's see, I'm gonna do one more thing. Actually, you know what? No, I'm gonna wait till next time because I don't want to be halfway through something and then finish it in the next video. I'd rather just start it from there. So I'm going to look into this problem and see if I can fix it real quick. And if I can't, then I'll just end the video here. So I have a hunch. So one thing I'm going to try here. Give me just a second. So I'm going to come in here into my weapon class, and I'm going to just call server fire. And I'm still going to play the muzzle flash and the fire sound, but the rest of this I'm going to put in the server fire method. So now this logic will all happen on the server. However, I think I have a problem now that I've done that. And I think the problem is that my character's rotation isn't matching between the client and the server. So I think what I want to do is I'm going to come in here into my character class, and I'm going to create another property. Rotator aim rotation. And in my tick, so I'm going to take the code that's currently in my anim instance, get rid of it, and then in my character's tick, I'm going to put that instead. So, and I'm going to have to add this include. And set, so that's going to set the aim rotation just like the anim instance was doing it before, but now it's in my character class, and that property I've set it to replicated, and now I need to also replicate it down here. So now that should get replicated, and in my anim instance, I'm going to have to add another inline method. Okay, so I have that, and then add that there, and let me give that a compile and run it in the editor. Okay, that should be launching any second. There it goes. Interesting. Yeah, it's still not replicating. It's replicating my aim. I think I need to tell the server that I'm aiming. Yeah. So I need to create a server event or server function that tells it that I'm aiming and where I'm aiming at. I got this weird snapping happening now too. And you notice if you look at the client, you can see that like my aiming snaps. So I got a lot of issues there to fix, but the HUD works. So I think I'm gonna stop there, and so next time I'll. There's one more thing I want to do, which is very similar thing to what we just did. Is I want to when you die, I want to show some UI that asks you if you'd like to respawn, and if you click the respawn button, it spawns you back at one of these player start locations. Because once I do that, I'll have basically a full loop. But I guess I'll probably take a look first at how to fix this issue with the aiming not replicating to the server properly. So I'll take a look at that, see if I can fix that first next time, and then see if I can add some respawning logic to get my full loop in place. And I'm rapidly approaching a point where I'll have to sort of decide what type of game this needs to be. I haven't done anything yet that's tied me to a particular type of game other than some sort of third-person shooter, right? I could. And I would like to stay with free assets, so that anybody could follow along and for free. So there's a couple of options. One is some sort of military-based shooter. There's good military characters available for free on the marketplace, and there's just an absolute ton of military vehicles available from Vigilante. So that's an option. Also, some sort of Grand Theft Auto Online type of game, because the city sample comes with vehicles, and there's all the new plugins for doing crowds and things like that. So I don't know yet. If anyone has any thoughts, feel free to comment, and hopefully in the next couple of videos I start to come up with what this thing is going to be, because I'm getting close to the point where I'm going to start adding functionality that is specific to a type of game. So anyway, I'll see you guys next time, where hopefully I'll get this multiplayer fixed up and get that respawn in place. Until then, take care. Thank you.